This is the SANAT Kumara. I'm an advanced Deva being from Venus who serves as the Chief Operating Officer of planet Earth. I lead the Shambala Council of Earth. In my fourth lecture serving the Basic Studies curriculum of Namas University, I will take you to 3 different places of Shambala as described in more detail in Volume 1 of the Chronicles of Sanat Kumara, I'm Ready, and make you aware of how these places can be entered. Before we get into that, let me remind you of what I taught last year as basic knowledge about Shambala. You need to have this in the back of your mind. Shambala is not a holy or magical mystical place. Shambala is the name for an evolutionary control center. There are billions upon billions of Shambalas in our universe. Earth Shambala is the evolutionary control center of Earth. Earth Shambala exists between the highest frequencies of the 9th dimension and the lowest frequencies of the 12th dimension. The crystal city can be found where the 9th and 10th dimension overlap in frequencies. The primary existence of Earth Shambala is situated where the frequencies of the 11th and 12th dimensions intersect. It is from here, from the Mothership, that we manage the evolutionary requirements of the divine and all new frequencies, including the frequency leap that Earth is currently undergoing from the 3rd through the 5th dimension. Now, in my chronicles, the soul Trusian promised to help the Shambala Council with the project Let There Be Light as a team leader. Trusian is a hybrid soul and supposed to incarnate with an aspect of her that will be called Lucia. Her initial story in Volume 1 takes you, my dear students, to Shambala 3 times. When the soul is introduced to Earth, and then later when the incarnate aspect Lucia visits the crystal city, and finally the Mothership. This is of great significance and contains clues for you how Shambala can be entered by whom, when and how. On the 1st of January of the year 18,761,997 of my chronicles, thus in the year 1997 AD your time, the soul Trusian is expected to arrive for a welcome and team reception in the great hall of Shambala that forms part of the crystal city. Waiting together with me are hundreds of beings from Shambala, of Earth, as well as formerly incarnated aspects of soul who came to Earth with other help missions to expand the consciousness of the human family. We are looking towards the huge double entrance door, ornate by a uniform, hexagonal, or you could say 6-pointed star. And we wait for Trusian to enter. Now, here's the first clue what it needs to enter the Great Hall. A uniform 6-pointed star consists of 2 triangles. And if you picture these 2 triangles 3-dimensional and push them into each other, you get the light body, the Merkaba of each being. The 6-pointed star is uniform, well-balanced and complete, as must the light body of all who want to enter be. While we are waiting in the Great Hall, Guan Yin, also called Kuan Yin, my chief diplomat and formerly busy to support Earth in challenges related to mercy, is waiting for Trusian at the stargate of the Crystal City. But Trusian is late. She has never been to Earth and never incarnated in the dense physical in this universe. Although she had been informed that Earth is not connected to the cosmic communication system, she thought it was a joke and therefore discovered too late that more cumbersome means of getting to the destination had to be used. But finally, Trusian has arrived, and in the corridors on the way to the Great Hall, her curious nature wins. Trusian wants to learn all about the geometrical forms from triangles to spirals, the murals telling Earth stories, to the portal system behind the entrance door. Trusian reacts to frequencies, vibrations and energies not familiar to her, and so should you. But first, she has the reception waiting in the Great Hall. Right in front of the double door with the six-pointed star, Guan Yin stops, adapts her light body appearance to those waiting, and asks Trusian to do the same in order not to blind beings present from the fifth dimension with their light appearance. Thus, dear students, it is the quality of your functioning light body, your Merkaba, that gives access to the Great Hall of Shambala in the Crystal City, the visitors' part of the evolutionary control center. And all beings who meet there are able to adapt their light body to make others feel comfortable in their presence. Trusian's next visit to the Crystal City takes place on the 15th of March in your year 2020. But this time she arrives as the incarnate being Lucia through the library of her mind, climbing up a thick rope and getting soaked up by a vortex for a conversation with me. The library of your mind is your individual reference framework. The information and experiences you have stored and categorized, like in true or not true, possible or impossible, acceptable or not acceptable, pleasant or painful, just to give you a few examples. Through the library of your mind, you can enter into higher dimensions, being fully awake or during your sleep. As the veil is thinning due to the shift, more and more of you are able to use that pathway. In Lucia's case, I'm her guide from Shambala, and I needed her to accept her mission and speed things up, as many things did not go as planned. Lucia perceives the Crystal City the way the library of her mind allows for at that very moment in her spiritual development. For example, she has read Tolkien's Lord of the Rings, and being flown by an eagle as Gandalf was by the Wind Lord Gwaihir is possible and safe according to her library of mind. At this point, I want to let you in on another secret. J.R.R. Tolkien knew a lot about the spiritual reality, but he pretended that he was just writing an entertaining mythology for his home country, England. At the time he wrote the stories and they were published, Earth's population was not ready for more openness. Back to Lucia. When she meets me on the grounds of the Crystal City, she is shown what she's able to comprehend, not more. But I ask her for permission to enhance her chakra system and for a final and definitive yes to accept her planetary mission. Without that yes, the chakra enhancement, and the actual taking up of her tasks, she is not allowed to enter into the Deva world of the Mer people, to get her dragon assigned, make trusted friends in higher dimensions, and be handed a key that also serves as the key to enter the Mothership. Once you have accepted your soul's mission in service of Earth, we perceive you to be ready for our reality in the 11th and 12th dimension. Lucia accepts the challenges wholeheartedly, and we can read in her energy field that she means it and will act on them. That is why we allowed her into the Deva world, intuitively using the portal of the blue vase to enter, having her chaperone taking her to the Mer Queen of the Sea People at the Outer Hebrides. As she is humble and open-minded enough to learn about the highly developed water people, she is taken to a meeting of the Council of the Sea and experiences the different personalities and history of the Sea People. There, unexpectedly, she also bumps into master teachers working together with the Sea People in projects benefiting the planet. Lucia's spiritual reward after years of selfless service spreading daisy water is trusted acceptance and recognition by the Sea People, combined with more learning and the insight that the human land dwellers are by far not the pinnacle of creation. Lucia is given an upper arm bracelet and a hairpin, keys to the underwater city and world of the Sea People, but one is also a key to enter the Mothership. Lucia is considered trustworthy, as she is selfless in service, willing to learn, and humble enough to understand how little she knows. But she can't reach the Mothership through the Blue Vase portal, a portal into the Deva world, as Shambala represents other kingdoms as well. She needs a dragon to get to the evolutionary control center of Earth, and in a ceremony in a dragon cave, she bonds with her personal dragon and sets off. Lucia arrives on the Mothership with her dragon. That is one way to get to us as an incarnate human being. Of Earth's allies use spaceships and other means. Lucia is picked up by Joshua at the entrance door after she is smart enough to use her upper arm bracelet as the key. She has done her selfless service, is trusted now and willing to take the risk to be herself and do what her intuition tells her she has to do to fulfill her planetary mission. Now she is considered ready to get a first glimpse of what our actual working place at the Evolutionary Control Center is like, and meets with master teachers and Immaculata to be offered support and the big picture of her mission. Lucia, my dear student, stands for all of you. She shows you what it takes to get to Shambala as a human being. The Devas and the humans are meant to work together in respect and harmony for this planet, but also share the path of spiritual ascension together. Being a trusted and respected incarnate being on its soul's planetary mission is just getting you to the Mothership. That's my lecture for today. You can use any topic of Volume 1 of my Chronicles and work through it in the study group. But first you need to read. Have a pen or pencil at hand, take notes, mark sections that need to be taken to your study group. Jot down questions and intuitive answers. Be a seeker and a skeptic. Use your intuition as to how this information fits into, aligns with, complements, or contrasts with the information gathered on your personal spiritual path and stored in the library of your mind. In the text to this podcast, you will find the links to the WhatsApp and Telegram groups established by students in English, German, Russian, and Hindi so far. Let me remind you, you are bright and intuitive at the same time. Please work on expanding your spiritual and therewith your working worldview. Up-to-date spiritual knowledge is the key to yourself, Earth and our universe, as well as a gift of choice. Become super conscious and use your connected way of thinking as a key to your soul's personal and planetary mission. Send your questions about today's lecture to the contact button podcast on my website, thesanatkumara.com. They will be answered in the last lecture of February. We hear each other next week again when we dive into the various beings Trusian and Lucia meet in Volume 1 of my Chronicles. Until then, I love you all and I bless you all. This was the Sanat Kumara.